Good afternoon. We're from the Remarkable Men's Practice. I'm Paul Velick, Matthew Jonas, and today we're talking about why have men in your life? Mr. Jonas, why have men in our lives?
Well, because it's a whole lot better than not having men in your life. Which, if you're like me, you've probably been in that place or where it felt like it. Like every other man out there was your competitor. He was somebody you were fighting against, somebody you had to beat at something, whether it was business or sports or for a partner, whatever it was. They were your competition, so they weren't really in your life.
But can we trust men? Will they tell us the truth? Will they help us? Are they friends? Are they foes? How do we know from which angle they are?
Yes, sometimes some men in the right circumstances. You want to take those one at a time? Because there was a lot.
Well, and we also have buddies, and we also have older men in our life, and we also have expectations and assumptions, and we have men that should be treating us after all this time in a certain manner.
Yes.
So how do we navigate that? How do we know our customers? How can
Well, the question I like to always ask a man is, do you have trusting men in your life? Now, what does it mean to say a trusting man? A trusting man is, in my mind, two things. One is I can tell him anything and I'm willing to tell him anything. Like I don't need to have any secrets. The other part, and this is really the important part, is he is going to tell me things, not about himself, but about me. He is going to tell me what he sees me doing or acting or behaving or where I'm screwing up or where I'm missing something, maybe about myself. It could be a great thing that I'm not seeing. He's going to be that honest with me. So trusting men to me is men that I can trust with my inner life and that I can trust that men are going to give me their honest feedback. It doesn't matter if I agree with it or not. I don't have to, but I can hear it and I know it's where it's coming from in them. So to me, that's what it means to have a
What if
trusting man.
he's unwilling to go the distance? What if he can't go the distance? What if he's just a great buddy and it's better to have a beer with him? And the deep, hard, or brutal truth is not his cup of tea.
And that's not his cup of tea. What are you saying? Should we throw him away?
No,
No.
I'm asking.
Good. I don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
He's your buddy.
Well,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but he can only go so far.
Today.
Right. Oh, you'll help him?
If he wants it, if he's open to it, if he wants to, do that. I mean, it's true that maybe some men aren't available for that or not interested in that and are just want to operate at a certain level or depth of what's really going on with them.
So how can we have the men you spoke about, trusting, deep, honest, men who will go the distance with us and take us to the mat in the brightest of times and the darkest of times?
How do we cultivate those kind of relationships?
Yeah, find them.
Well, I mean, organically, it sometimes happens when you've been through something with someone. You shared an experience. Could be we were on a sports team together, and that could happen. You could form a bond. It could be an adventure that you took where you created a bond, or there was some challenge at some point in that adventure where things got dicey,
right?
And men were tested, and truth came out.
Because risk happened.
That's right. Or one man gets scared and feeling safe enough to somebody has to take a risk.
Right.
In the relationship. Somebody has to take a risk and divulge something about themselves. If I just start calling you out and calling you names, that's not going to work. But if I'm willing to say, look, I'm scared or I'm needing something right now, and in the context of our culture, appearing vulnerable. Ooh, vulnerability in men, scary.
Sensitive men.
Yeah, sensitive men. But to ask for help even. Something that's going to take the relationship to that next level underneath the surface. Because let's be honest, most relationships with most people live at the surface level.
Yes, they do.
It's polite, it's
They do.
comfortable,
They do.
it's easy, it's let's grab a beer, let's talk about, you know, the Dodgers or your favorite, fill in the blank with your favorite sports team, and you know, let's call it a night and go back to our life.
Can we convert our buddies? Can we ask our buddies for a deeper, more honest, more enduring
Absolutely.
connection?
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if I like the word convert,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
can we invite you know, a man to go get into a deeper relationship? And I've had that experience.
How about show and tell? And screw the invitations, no conversions. How about tell our buddies we want something. We want something more. We want something deeper.
Yeah, well, I think the best way, rather than tell them what I want, I would rather ask a question.
Okay.
So asking
Great.
questions. So I'd ask a question like, tell me what's really going on. I could say, tell me what's really going on with work or with your relationship or with
Or how you feel about your uncle that's about to die or just died.
yeah, right. Or exactly. Like tell what's really going on there. Like and you'll know instantaneously by if you're, you know, face to face or if you're, you know, by the reaction. They're either gonna lock up like, whoa, or they're gonna feel like I'm so glad somebody asked me that question. Like I was secretly waiting for some man to ask me a question like that so I could tell somebody the truth.
Right.
Because I'm holding on to a whole bunch of stuff and it's killing me.
Can we reconnect with our buddies from high school or college or from years past?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, and bring them into our life now.
Sure. I wouldn't assume that they're going to be necessarily up for it. That was, for some of us, that was a long time ago. They might be very different men, but
Right.
who knows? But yeah, why not? I mean, it's not, you know what, it's, you know, the guy, the barista,
That's right.
you can invite a total stranger
That's
in
right.
by asking them a question of some depth. Where I see the value of you know, for all men, again, just going back to what I said before, is like, you know, so much of our lives we spend in isolation between right here, isolation, or between here and some device in front of our face. You know, even that some people are going to say, no, that's connection. I'm getting information. I'm researching. I'm whatever. We spend in isolation. We spend in our heads. We spend not in relationship. And you know, whether listen, you might have grown up if you're a man and you grew up with 3 brothers and a dad. That doesn't mean you necessarily have great relationships with men. And if you grew up with a house full of sisters, or you're an only child, it also doesn't mean that you have relationships with men or even know how to have those relationships with men.
Right.
Or you might think having a relationship with men mean one thing, and it may mean something completely different. So, if you're watching this, you're maybe a man who's got men in his life and saying, I recognize that happened to me, or something like that. Or you may be a man who's going, I don't think I do have that. Why don't I have men in trusting relationships with men? And you know, there's opportunities to explore that. Let us know in the comments below what your relationships with men are like, and what other topics you'd like us to talk about in the Remarkable Practice, because we are here to help men.